Hi everybody, I'm Lizzie Martinez, and today I'm going to talk about how to get the best results from homeopathic treatment or homeopathy. So this is a question I get asked quite a bit, so I thought I'd just talk about it a little bit for a couple minutes. So as we know, homeopathic medicine works by stimulating the body's immune system to resolve something on its own. So it's a stimulative medicine. And as a practitioner, my goal is resolution. I work towards resolution for my clients in conjunction with them as a practitioner and as an advocate. I'm always going to be working towards resolution. So we know that in homeopathy we have a lot of tools to use, and that's something I'll talk about in another video, is how many different kinds of tools we have in homeopathy, because this is something also that really interests people, is how homeopathy works and the different ways that we use it. But for the sake of this topic, just getting the best results and how to be the best consumer of homeopathic medicine. So, first of all, we do a comprehensive intake. We look at all the baselines of all the presenting symptoms. That's intensity, frequency, and duration of all the presenting symptoms. We look at health history, and we look at onset, and we look at the health history of the family, parents, extended family, etc. This is how we take a really good case. So in homeopathy, we take a very detailed, very complete case so that we can really understand what are the patterns and what are the obstacles to the cure in any case. So ideally what we're looking for, or the way that I practice, is I look for a constitutional remedy that might address this, what I would consider maybe the center of the case. Sometimes when that is an accurate prescription, I'm able to net quite a few symptoms with that first prescription. So sometimes that is, we net quite a bit with the first prescription, but we need follow-ups in order to confirm. So one of the things that I learned in my homeopathic training, and that I've seen over and over again in my practice, is that 90% of treatment and good appropriate resolution with homeopathy is case management. So prescription of the remedy is only about 10%. 90% is management. So that's why we have so many follow-ups. That's why we like to have follow-ups. So in my case, in my practice, the way I work is I like to have one follow-up a month, depending, and this depends on the severity of the person's symptoms, have a follow-up a month. Why do we do that? Because that's how we check in on how symptoms are changing. So we're always looking to net symptoms or reduce symptoms in intensity, frequency, and duration, right? That's the way the follow-up process works. So we check in follow-ups either by phone or telehealth or in office, and we go over a symptom review and we check and see what's changed in the case. That's why it takes such a good initial case, because as symptoms resolve and disappear, people actually forget that they were even experiencing the symptoms in the first place. So it's great to have that as a baseline, because we always refer back to the intake as baseline. So another important way to get a great results is to be consistent with follow-ups. I always recommend that people have at least 6 follow-ups. 6 follow-ups or 6 months gives us a very good indication of where the case is going. Now, of course, like I said, I'm always going towards resolution. So it's not like, homeopathy is not like allopathy or allopathic or Western medicine, where they might give you a medication or pharmaceutical, and you might take that pharmaceutical for the rest of your life to manage your symptoms. In homeopathy, we're looking to actually resolve the symptoms. We want the immune system to be stimulated enough to resolve something on its own, right? It's a stimulative medicine. So case management is so hugely important, and we do that through consistent follow-ups. The person is the observer of their symptoms. They hopefully record, pay close attention to things that are changing, and then we have consistent follow-ups. Many cases have layers, and so sometimes the constitutional or one single prescription can really change the case. Many times there's obstacles to the cure, what Hahnemann, the founder of homeopathy, called obstacles to the cure, and those can be acquired things like exposure to chemicals, pharmaceuticals, different types of exposures to substances that may have damaged the organism. They can be hereditary obstacles to the cure. They can be emotional or traumatic obstacles to the cure. Those can all be layers that we peel off the case using different approaches and different remedies and methodologies. And that's why case management is so important, because we use those follow-ups to move the case in different directions that we need as we move towards resolution. So I hope that has been helpful. So the main ways to get great results out of homeopathy. Oh, the other one I meant to mention is acute issues. So using homeopathy to treat acutes is very important, because as we go through the process of healing, sometimes old symptoms return, right? It might be an old acute that was suppressed in your history. It might return in the process of complete healing with homeopathy, and to reach out and let me treat it with homeopathy, or if you're competent with homeopathy, treat it yourself. That's hugely important to resolving your case entirely, because the more we use homeopathy, the more we're training the immune system to resolve something on its own. So complete intake, consistent follow-ups, at least 6 follow-ups, staying in regular communication with me if something is changing or something has come up. Many times I have clients not come back for follow-ups, and then they've developed a symptom and they've just been living with the symptom for months. I don't know that they've had the symptom. They feel discouraged. Why isn't it working? But they haven't reached out to me and they haven't been consistent with follow-up, so I can't help them. I'm here to help. I'm here as a practitioner to use the tools to the best of my ability to help you resolve your case. So that means stay in contact with me. Let me treat your acutes as they come up. Stay in regular follow-ups. All those are, and get curious about homeopathy. So the people that get curious about homeopathy, they read about it, they want to try to use it at home. Homeopathy is amazing to try to use on your own, because it's such a safe form of medicine, and it's so lay people are able to use it really well at home. And these are all ways that you can ensure that you will have a lot of success with homeopathy. Sticking with the process is a process. Healing is a process, and it can sometimes be a slow process, or it feels slow to people because it's different from allopathy. It's not like you give a medication and the symptom, it might, change or suppress the symptom immediately. What we're doing is we're going inward and trying to find the root cause. Homeopathy is by its nature a root cause medicine. It is one of the original root cause medicines. That's what it does. And so we want to let the process really unfold so that you can get to 100% resolution, optimum health, or homeostasis. Okay, I hope that's been helpful, everybody, and I'll make another video about methodology, because I think that's super important. All right, take care.